Okay, so we're in the final phases of the countdown. Let's watch as Falcon 9 takes
T-minus 15 seconds.
Starlink satellites and 3 Planet SkySats into orbit.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff for the Falcon 9. Go Starlink.
About 10 seconds, we will be approaching max Q. Merlin engines are now throttling down as they anticipate the moment of greatest aerodynamic pressure.
Max Q.
All right, we just went through max Q, and the vehicle is now supersonic, and Merlin engines have throttled back up. So coming up in about a minute, we'll have 3 events happening back to back. First will be main engine cutoff, or MECO. This is where all 9 Merlin engines will shut off to slow the vehicle down in preparation for the second event, stage separation. 20 seconds. Everything continuing to look nominal for stage 1.
We have MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
And impact ignition.
All right, so there we saw those 3 events all happen in quick succession.
Fairing separation confirmed.
There we go, visual confirmation of fairing deployment. Stage 1 is now making its way back to Earth. There on the left-hand side of your screen continues its journey on to orbit. Intended to slow the vehicle's velocity down as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere.
Bermuda acquisition of signal.
Continuing nominally.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
And there we can see that the entry burn has begun and will last for about 20 seconds.
Stage 2 continues on nominal trajectory.
While the second stage is continuing to do its job, the first stage is making its way back home to Earth. Second stage trajectory is still looking nominal. Left-hand side of your screen, we can see the grid fins slowly deploying. And in less than a minute, we will see the first stage on the left-hand side of the screen perform its landing burn. Looking back at our second stage, everything continues to look good. Once again, we are carrying 58 Starlink satellites.
Stage 1, landing burn.
And landing burn has begun. We should.
Terminal guidance.
So turning our attention back to second stage, we've had
Nominal
confirmation
orbit insertion.
of second engine cutoff, or SECO 1. We should see the
Stage
plume
2
from the
FTS is
rocket
saved.
appear on the screen here.
Stage
and
1, landing leg deploy.
Our touchdown and shut off. Successful landing of the first stage booster. Once again, this is the 6th time that we have utilized this booster on a mission. also marking its 6th landing. As we can see on our screen there, the stack of payloads. We are carrying 58 Starlink satellites as well as 3 rideshare satellites for our customer planet. And awaiting the 3rd and final deployment for this rideshare customer.
And SkySat-19 deploy confirmed.
And deployment confirmed for that 3rd and final SkySat for our customer planet. These 3 SkySats will be joining 18 already on orbit, which will complete the fleet of 21 and make it the largest high-resolution fleet of satellites in orbit to date. Like I mentioned before, they'll be capable of imaging a single location up to 12 times a day. Right now, Stage 2 is going to continue to coast in this orbit for a few more minutes. During this time, it will start to spin along its central axis, which will give those Starlink satellites the momentum they require to space themselves out over time after deployment at T plus 46 minutes.
Tension rod separation confirmed.
We have an expected loss of signal over our ground station. There we go. We can see the visual confirmation of Starlink deployment. Like I said before, those 58 Starlinks will be joining 600 that are already on orbit. And shortly, they will be deploying their solar arrays. Over the next few days and weeks, they will distance themselves out using the momentum created by the second stage.
Maneuver complete.
Like I said, we spun it along its central axis to provide the momentum required for those satellites to space out, as you can see there. So they'll be using their onboard ion thrusters to make their way to their operational orbit of 550 kilometers above Earth, and we'll begin to start beaming down high-speed internet to us Earthlings. And with that wonderful view of those Starlink satellites floating out into space, we will now bring our webcast to a close this morning. We'd like to thank our customer Planet for their continued support riding on board Falcon 9, as well as the FAA and the 45th Space Wing for supporting today's mission. If you're interested in getting future updates about Starlink launches, as well as general updates about future service availability, head over to Starlink.com, sign up for updates, and we will see you next launch.